While the mistake lives, we shall not be free.
The Magister Spirit looks up at you from a tortured face. His eyes are filled with pain and terror, and his hands grasp tight to each other, clenching and clenching, harder and harder.
In this dingy hole, to end my days. Here, where I once toiled, but oh how I prayed for an end. At the end. And I'm still praying. Play? No! I would never! My whole life was for Lucian. Every action a prayer to him. For the glory of Lucian, there is no task unworthy. Here we turned abominations into servants of the Lord. And the more powerful the sorcerer, the better the geist they make. All the better to serve him. For him we pray always.
Don't listen to what she says. Her evil is slithering to your brain through your ears. That's how they do it.
Prisoners can't just vanish.
Dangerous enough that she's got to be kept in that fancy cell.
This makes no sense.
The only way to keep her nasty thoughts stuck inside her head and away from our kids, I reckon.
Find out.
Maybe. I guess the Lawmaster will figure it out.
Where are all the prisoners? Where did they go?
You really think she's all that dangerous?
Dangerous enough that she's got to be kept in that fancy cell. The only way to keep her nasty thoughts stuck inside her head and away from our kids, I reckon.
Find out.
Come on, let me out.
Where are all the prisoners?
She spits at you. From the darkness of the look in her eye, there'll be no talking to her.
Piss off, paladin scum. Why, what'll you do? Kill my friends and lock me up? Go and die.
I'm out.
Come on, let me out.
Prisoners can't just vanish.
Stop that prisoner!
Stop that prisoner!
Over here.
Prisoners can't just vanish. The cells are empty.
Let me out! Let me out of here! Come on, let me out!
Stop right there!
Piss off, paladin scum. Go and die.
According to this, 564 prisoners are unaccounted for.
Maybe they were shipped to Fort Joy.
Not according to this. Besides, they weren't soldiers. Prisoners can't just vanish.
don't know.
Find out. Who are you? Did Lord Kem send you about the missing prisoners?
Her jaw drops. She struggles to process the news.
You saw this with your own eyes? I see it in you. You did. This is abhorrent. Outrageous. Evil. Dallas and her whites. They must be involved. This cruelty, this disregard for life's spark. It is the mark not just of the Black Ring, but of the Hammer. You've done the Paladins a great service. The better we understand the ways of the whites, the closer we come to ending their horrors.
She bows to you in farewell.
But how do you run experiments on more than 500 people?
A handful at a time, presumably.
This way's off limits. You really think she's all that dangerous?
Stay back. It's for your own good. Found the undead freak here already chained up by the Magisters. They say she's a witch. I say...
Her voice freezes into a harsh whisper.
I say she's a demon. Creatures like this Windigo. They mask themselves, spread their black magic to children with their songs and stories. Makes me sick. Our little ones, tools of demons. You know this trickster? Well, go on then. Probably doesn't matter who breaks her, so long as she gets broken. Just keep your head on straight. She'll try to make nice. Creep into your thoughts. Keep her out of there, all right?
What do you suppose the Magisters are doing with her?
No one touched me, so... Stop! Stop! You answer to me. I do not answer to you.
Dearest sunshine, I am no witch. I only heal. Body and blood, heart and soul. I see your wounds. Your hurt seeps from your every pore. Come close. Let me soothe you.
My wounds? My hurt? My... No. Leave my thoughts, woman. They are but my own. to me. What's this? Who are you? Stay away from there. That thing keeps the shield stable. We can't take any chances. Why did give me room, lizard?
She cradles her head in her hands, then pivots towards the prisoner. Her mouth opens, yet nothing spills forth. No sermon, no screed, no threat. She turns back to you and grimaces.
Too late. The spark's been snuffed. I trust you come bearing gold or godhood for me to have interrupted such a sensitive interrogation. The Magisters can quiet the songs of Source using their collars and cages. I would normally call it a cruelty. But this Windigo thing, she must be contained. We found her here, already imprisoned, cursing the Magisters with hexes vulgar enough to turn even a dwarf's cheeks red. The evil is strong in her. Her words are soaked in it. They squirm into your mind, planting warm memories you've never had, mesmerizing you with candy-sweet sights and scents.
Visions of Windigo's attack on the vessel sailing to Fort Joy fill your head. You look to the cell, and your memories contort and coil. Windigo cradles you in her arms, stroking your head as the waves crash around you. I'm sorry, Buttercup. I was bewitched by his promise. Forgive me. You shake your head and the vision is gone. Your eyes rest not on the prisoner, but on the paladin. The paladin sighs, in, then out. Her jaw relaxes, her hands unclench.
A sorcerer. You penetrate my thoughts as she does, yet you leave behind clarity. Not fantasy. I understand now. You are as dangerous to her as she to us. I will give you the space you need, then. May Lucian be your guide. Things are under control. For now.
You step up to the cell to look at the skeleton you know to be Windigo. The barrier mutes her source, but it isn't her source you fear, but something more, a shadow. She says nothing, but you still hear her words.
An unexpected pleasure. For both of us, I'm sure.
She looks to the nearby device, and an urge engulfs you. An urge to power down the device to release Windigo from her cell. Her mouth remains closed, yet her voice settles in your mind like a damp fog.
There are others, his chosen, yet I am no longer among them. They seek what you seek. The hammer. I am ready to share what I know. The God King rejoices as long as I am chained. Free me, and we might hobble him.
The voice is gone. Windigo is still.
No more lies, Godwoken. No more treachery, no more death, no more betrayal. You can be free of me, and I can be free of him. Dropping the barrier requires a sacrifice. It won't be for naught. I can no longer abide by the God King's will. He would scour me clean and suck me dry of all that was ever mine. I will never be among his chosen. But I know the ones still basking in his favor. Free me, and you too will know them.
You reach your hand towards the device, and your inner source is stifled, as if you'd never rid yourself of that cursed collar. You close your eyes and focus. You feel the source in you pulse, first faintly, then with the strength of a leather-skinned drum. Something within the device grates and groans, yet the cell's shield holds.
That undead witch. They're talking about some kind of cover.
Someone will pay for this, if there's justice in the world.
What do you suppose the Magisters are doing with her?
A creature that power.
The machine sputters and You close your eyes and the device crackles and pops, then whines pitifully. The shield surrounding the cell flickers off.
Come to me, sweet sister.
She steps forward, slowly but confidently. She holds out her hands, bony palms up. They emit no fire, no ice, no curse.
The God King no longer grants me his favor. Mask ripped from me and flesh flayed to bone, because the Godwoken still walks Rivellon. Now he's chosen another. I should hate you for what you've done to me. Hate you for the hell I've lived. But I hate him so much more. He loved me when I was useful. He cast me out when you failed to die. Go to the new chosen. See that he suffers. See that the God King suffers. In your name and in mine. I wish I'd possessed your willpower, but the God King, he's a powerful drug, and the Black Ring is no more than a band of junkies. The Covenant, it sounded so beautiful. Eternity right there at my fingertips. Yet it's all a lie. There is no grand reward, no enduring prosperity. Just slavery within the void. The rule of a hellish hand. I was so naive. The God King told me I was special. He came close, and then closer still. Hearing him, feeling him, it was like crashing over a cliff and having him catch me over and over. I failed him. You just wouldn't die. Of all his punishments, the harshest was the emptiness, the lack of him. I thought if I could just regain his affection, I might taste it again. Linderkem. He is the God King's current beloved. No more skin in his real bones than on a peeled jackfruit. And it is not only his ear the God King whispers into. The dwarf called Isbale. She bends to the king's every whim. The God King said if I could find Dallas, eliminate her, I could take my place by his side again. But Kem, he doesn't like competition. All it took was a few whispers. The Magisters, they've got ways of silencing Source. They knew exactly what to do. The Paladins, well, when they found me, they'd no idea what to make of me. No, the God King's special boy. It wasn't difficult to figure out, I assure you. I came seeking Dallas. Kem wants her, too, as anyone could tell you. I crashed one of Lady Kem's little tea parties, did a little snooping. The void's vapor there was plain as night to me. You'd suppose we should work as one, but no. The God King loves to play his game of favourites. Clem was promised a place at the table, and he's doing what he must to secure it. Alone. Yes, her. Oh, let me see if I can work up some grief over the news.
A moment passes.
No! Goodness, how could I not? Her work on Black Peak Isle is legendary, or so she told it at least. The king has an eye for the arrogant. They make such valuable stewards as they clamour for his favour, as I well know. I go to Kem. Or his estate, rather. He's got a Swornbreaker scythe. It'll free me from the Covenant. I'd be mortal, yes, but no longer a slave. Neither of us are inclined to mercy. Let's make the most of this moment, shall we? Before you go, I have something for you. Something I learned. A touch of void, if you will.
Windigo pauses. She doesn't speak the next words, yet you hear them as clearly as a robin's song.
Goodbye, Godwoken.
That undead witch. Heard her talking about some kind of covenant.
That's the demon's way. They give out promises like sweets. You're in the week.
Come on, damn you. Stop
bleeding!
The paladin presses a wad of fresh bandages upon a steadily bleeding leg wound. For a moment, it seems to work, but then the bleeding suddenly gets worse.
Damn it!
One of the Magisters didn't know when he was beaten. Drove a spear into my knee. He should have aimed higher, though. I didn't give him a chance to land a second blow. My thanks. This is just what I need.
The potion takes effect, but then your ear catches the faintest sound of angry whispers, and the bleeding suddenly intensifies. The paladin claps her hand over the wound in an effort to stem the flow of blood.
What's going on? It looks like it's nearly stopped. Then it just starts again.
The soul jar pulses with trapped life force. The soul flickers around the jar like a desperate, buzzing insect, but you hold its entire prison between your hands. You catch the soul cleanly between your teeth and swallow it whole.
The bleeding stopped. Thank you. Wait! No! It's starting again!
The paladin is still trying to stem the flow of blood.
I tried one of your post...
The spirit of a magister jabs a spectral finger into the paladin's wound, while muttering some profane-sounding curse.
I'll do as I please. This paladin filth hacked me down right here in our headquarters. She's going to suffer for what she did to me.
The spirit thinks for a moment, then moves back from the paladin.
Very well. I am done with this world.
Last. Thank you. The wound's closed over. Thank you. Here, I found this on one of the Magisters. It looks valuable. Take it, with my thanks.
The spirit of a half-dressed magister stands before you, fumbling to draw his phantom blade from its sheath. The spirit manages to draw his sword and utter a challenge, though not one aimed at you.
Alarm! Sound the alarm! There's paladins attacking! Where are the whites?
He starts to swipe and jab his sword at an unseen opponent.
Nothing's doing here. All the fun seems to be over at the cathedral. Looking for Dallis, I'd imagine. I assume Kem has a plan beyond praying for help or running the path of blood. But if he does, I'm not privy to it.
The spirit of a Magister lingers nearby, scowling at the damage that's been dealt to the premises.
Look at this! Just look at this! Our barracks ransacked by our own brothers in arms, and my sworn Magister comrades murdered by them! Damn it! That cheapskate owed me gold! Oh, Brent. I got Brent out of here. He was wounded. He wouldn't have stood a chance if I hadn't helped. Hopefully some more made it as well. I came back to see if I could help any others, but I got a saber through the heart instead.
Murdering blue bloods. The Void's welcome to the lot of them.
The spirit leans back to appraise you, a guarded look on his spectral features.
You're no paladin, but why should I tell you? Fine. Just check in on him for me, will you? There's a spot around the back, at the bottom of an embankment, where a culvert drains into the river. I lowered him down there, where the paladins likely wouldn't see him. He was bleeding like a stuck pig, though. I don't know if he made it.
I've spotted something.
The spirit continues to stand by and scowl at the ransacked barracks.
The paladins just showed up. No notice, ready for a scrap. They claimed we were traitors and were plotting with the Black Ring. Lunatics, a lot of them. Are you mad? They're our sworn enemies. Whatever evidence the paladins think they have is false. And I hope my brethren make them choke on it. How would I know? She and those whites she surrounds herself with don't announce their plans like town criers. You can be sure of one thing, though. The paladins will never catch her scent.
This fire was set on purpose.
The plaque reads, "To Order of Society." The plaque reads, "For Loyalty to the Divine." Engraved on the plaque are the words, "Discipline of Body." The plaque reads, "Purity of Mind."
Fools! They aren't even looking at the right spot. They'll never find what they want.
Careful! I've spotted a trap. I've spotted something.
What's this then? The Paladins resorting to bringing in outsiders to try and decipher my work.
He sneers at you. His spectral form bears impressions of severe burn injuries.
No matter. You'll fail just like them. I was the High Cryptographer of the Magister Order, until the Paladins killed me. Coded letters, passwords, security measures, all my creation. Now that I'm dead, you'll never decipher any of it. My work will outlive you all.
The spirit's smug demeanor gives way to an angry scowl.
Desperate measures made necessary by the treacherous actions of our so-called allies. My encryption guards the most important secrets. My task was to protect secrets, not to interpret them. But let me say this. The notion that we would have anything to do with the Black Ring is absurd. Patently absurd. My very life's work was to hide key intelligence from the light of both sun and source. What I know and what I have seen shall remain in shadow.
A combination lock is embedded into the face of the hatch, with 4 numbered dials. A sequence of numbers has been engraved on the face of the mechanism, 1324. Below this are 4 dials. Each of the 4 dials bears 4 phrases that can be rotated into place. The first dial must be set. A combination lock is embedded into the face of a sequence of numbers. Each of the 4 dials, the first dial must be set. The mechanism clicks. The second dial has the same 4 phrases to select from. The mechanism clicks once again. The third dial bears the same options as before. Another click. One last dial remains, with the same phrases as all the others. The final dial clicks. Then, deeper within the mechanism, the sound of gears turning and a bolt withdrawing. The hatch yields, clicking open.
What? No, it can't be. You cheated. My life's work. Defeated by some nobody.
The spirit vanishes. Whether he fled to the Hall of Echoes or elsewhere, you cannot be sure.
Someone worked hard to keep this place secret. Careful! I've spotted a trap. Ah! There's something behind this painting. I've spotted something.
You are no Magister, no Paladin either. Resourceful of you to breach our inner circle. I'm sure Marwell must be fuming. Tell me, does Arx still stand? Lately, I was investigating possible threats to Arx. My inquiries led me to suspect that a Dwarven enclave was planning something significant from within the city's sewers. They've long used the sewers for smuggling contraband, but something changed recently. They seemed nervous. More guards, more hidden chambers, more secrets. I fear that an attack against the city might be imminent. Good Queen Justinia seeking to take advantage of the disarray in the Order, perhaps. The dwarves ransacked a Divine Order ship recently. The Peacemaker. A vessel like that is commonly used for safely transporting shipments of death fog. If that's what they're hiding down there, then they must be stopped.
The spirit suddenly seems buoyant as your words sink in. That which tethered him to the mortal realm has been well resolved. He smiles with relief.
Truly? Then I owe you a debt. Arx owes you a debt. Thank you, and farewell.
The spirit vanishes.
Careful! I've spotted a trap. there's something behind this painting. Look out! I see a trap nearby. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
My, the giant
Aha! There's something behind this painting. More Magister trickery. They must have many secrets to go to all these lengths. That didn't sound successful. There's some mechanism at work behind these walls. Careful now. That's a trap. Aha! There's something behind this painting. Careful. That didn't sound successful. There's some mechanism at work behind these walls. There's some mechanism at work behind these walls. That didn't sound successful. That didn't sound successful.
Our shields.
There's some mechanism at work behind these walls. There's some mechanism at work behind these walls. There's some mechanism at work behind these walls. Careful now. That's a trap. That did the trick, by the sound of it.